Now, you may recall how in earlier episodes I explained that both the Russian Revolution and also the Chinese Revolution were funded out of the bankers either in Germany or Wall Street, and we know that Sidney Shapiro, who was the propaganda minister for Mao Zedong, and Israel Epstein was the finance minister for him, and Mao Zedong was responsible for the murder of millions of people. Of course, all the landowners were taken off their land and murdered, and we know that the Chinese government took over the ownership of all the land in China. And so this is the communist power that has become our major trading partner, but being a communist nation, it has an ulterior motive, and of course we know that they've been spying on New Zealand industry in particular, but also New Zealanders.
Called one of the most significant and widespread cyber intrusions ever uncovered.
New Zealand today joining our Western allies in naming the Chinese government for being behind a major hacking campaign to steal commercial and trade secrets in 12 different countries, including here. May Heron has more.
It's a relationship characterised as warm and friendly, but New Zealand's taken the unusual step today to name and shame the culprit behind a persistent spying campaign.
We know that China is behind it, we know one of their security agencies behind it, and that's why it makes it important that we go public on it.
China's cyber attack has been global and widespread across businesses and government agencies for more than a decade.
The threats we face have never been more severe or more pervasive or more potentially damaging to our national security. And no country poses a broader, more severe, long-term threat to our nation's economy and cyber infrastructure than China.
The US indicting 2 Chinese men today believed to be part of the hacking group APT-10, which has been systematically stealing intellectual property, trade secrets and sensitive data from companies around the world. They target big companies through their IT service providers, which store data. The hackers are then able to hop from cloud storage to the company's main IT systems. And at least 2 New Zealand companies have been targeted.
If we think of the companies in which New Zealand has a leading edge, economically speaking, dairy, perhaps forestry, some high-tech sectors like the gaming industry that's growing in strength, they undoubtedly will be the targets.
And so Jin Ping has been responsible for massive persecution against Christians in China, and now he's turning his attention on taking over Hong Kong, where many of these Christians have escaped to. And of course all the Western governments are too busy trading with China to upset the apple cart and to speak out about their brutality.
In Hong Kong right now there's a threat at every turn. We ran from this danger, but so many here charge towards it. Their final chance, they say, to fight for their freedoms. To fan the flames for global attention, they target the police.
We're in an area called Sham Shui Po, where protesters have blocked up the street outside a local police station. Police on rooftops now firing tear gas at them, trying to disperse the crowds.
We saw firsthand the costs of this ongoing uprising. More victims, here a local journalist caught in the crossfire. More pain. Police have fired around 1,000 tear gas rounds in their struggle to restore order. Even the most vulnerable dragged in when gas spread to residential blocks. And as Hong Kong's crisis deepens, so does division. Pro-democracy activists clashing with men loyal to the Beijing-backed government. And tensions tipping during yesterday's citywide strikes. More cars ramming roadblocks, leaving several people hurt. Chased by the protesters, this taxi driver appears to swerve towards one. This uprising is now into its 9th week, so when will it end? Ventus Lau is a coordinator in what is essentially a leaderless protest.
We won't stop because democracy and freedom is what we are fighting for. And we believe that this may be our last chance to fight for this because of the strengthening of the Chinese control recently.
Beijing has warned no one should underestimate China's resolve to restore stability.
If they decide to deploy an army, just do it. We're ready for it.
These Hong Kongers united in defiance as they wait for China's next move.